What's going on, everyone? Kurt Singh here with a open Ultra League battle video. Finally trying out Greninja. It's been quite a while and I finally built one. So built it, tried it out with this team and went 10-0 so far. I stopped my battles there. We'll jump right into it. First battle here, I'm facing Tapu Fini, which I'm sure a lot of you will ask, how do I deal with a Tapu Fini with this team? So with this, I just stayed in, and the Hydro Cannons actually come fast enough and do enough damage with the neutral, with the water against water, that it's actually a winning matchup, as long as I did respect the potential Moonblast here. It was just a Surf, so I'm safe to no shield the next one, as long as they don't build up to the Moonblast, which in this particular case, their next move is just another Surf. So I let that go, and you can see that that Water Shuriken that went through actually puts me to another Hydro Cannon. So I am able to fire that right away, and that will, I believe it takes out the Tapu Fini. Yes, it does. So there's Tapu Fini gone, and then they've got a Rizian in the back, and at this point, I'm not going to switch out. I'm going to do whatever chip damage I can with this Hydro Cannon, let them take me out, and then I'm going to bring in my Charizard, and they switch into the Steelix. And in this situation, as long as, again, they don't really build up to the Earthquake, which a lot of players, even if they build up to it, just go Breaking Swipe, I can safely no shield multiple times and then go for the Mud Bomb and the counter damage, and it's going to take it out even though I'm getting debuffed. So you can see there, I got debuffed once, and then I throw the Mud Bomb. They're going to Breaking Swipe again. I let that go, and now I'm going to fully counter down, and then I've got the Sludge Bomb loaded to throw at the Rizian in hopes of getting their last shield. And I still don't know for sure if the Rizian has Stone Edge, so that's a potential, like that would one-shot my Charizard more than likely. So I throw the Sludge Bomb. A little bit, I kind of feel like they quit at that point because they don't attack here. You can see they just stand there and I counter them down. So I feel like they did quit there. That's what the lag was. So good first game to my opponent. I'm going to just say that Greninja paired with Toxicroak is incredible. I've been blown away in these 10 battles how well they do together. Sneasler is actually another one. I have a Shadow one that this morning actually I evolved it, and I'm wanting to make a team with that. But while I was waiting for the daylight time or the daytime thing to be able to evolve it, I put this team together and tried it and figured I'd just make a video on this first. So I shield up the Grass Knot there. This is another kind of little bit tricky. You really have to respect the Grass Knots. However, the Night Slashes do add up and they come very quickly. And if you are lucky enough to get a boost, then that's going to pressure the Cresselia shields even more. So there they let another one go through, and I really didn't want to go down 2 shields, so I decided to let the Grass Knot go through. And you can see there that I actually live. I was kind of surprised. I thought that Greninja is so glassy that it would have just one-shot me, so I was pleasantly surprised. Here, I just went for as much chip as I could. I knew that Dragon Tail was going to take me out, so I just threw the Night Slash. Bring in Toxicroak, and like in the first battle, I can safely let these go through and continue to counter. They do switch back into the Sneasler. I wasn't 100% sure. I was expecting either Close Combat or the X-Scissor. I was not expecting Aerial Ace. So that's why I let that go through. And here I'm expecting the Aerial Ace here. I'm gonna let it go through. And at this point, I feel like I want to farm all the way down. I managed to get it done before they get to another move. And then I'm at almost 2 Blast Burns. Throw the first one, they shield that up. And I realize I'm not gonna get to the other Blast Burn. So I just throw the Dragon Claw to get as much damage as I can. There I'm taken out, and then I gotta try to get to the Mud Bomb. I do make it, and that'll be a good game as well. So I thought that was gonna take it out, and it doesn't quite, and it's like one more counter, and I took it out. So good game to my opponent there. If you are still watching, this is going to be a little bit longer. I did include all 10 battles. I did try to speed it up a little bit, and I edited it down a little bit, but it is still over 20 minutes. But if you're interested and you want to stay and watch, it'll really highlight how this team plays out in multiple different scenarios of your Swamperts, Tapu Finis, Creselias, stuff like that. The very, very last battle, I faced a Dragonite with Dragon Breath. That was very difficult. So there you can see that I was fully counting on that they were going to Hydro Cannon. So nice to know that I can live in Earthquake, but it works out still. Alignment wise, now I'm able to bring my Charizard in. I'm going to respect the Blast Burn on the first move here. So I do shield this up. It is the Blast Burn. And now I'm going to just go for Dragon Claws. Because of being a Shadow, the Dragon Claws actually do a decent amount of damage, and they are a little bit faster obviously than the Blast Burn. So I do another wing attack and throw my Dragon Claw, and now I get them deep into the red. And at this point, I'm going to call that it's just a Dragon Claw, and I will survive it. So I want to save that last shield. It's just a Dragon Claw, and they're back to back. So at this point, I decide to shield, and in the back they've got a Machamp. So I feel like they're going to shield this. Might as well just Dragon Claw. They do get the shield. So now I'm able to safely switch into my Toxicroak, and it shouldn't really matter what move they throw. Rock Slide's going to be resisted, Payback would be resisted, and Cross Chop would be resisted. Dynamic Punch, same thing. So I get to the Mud Bomb here, throw that, get them deep into the red, and then I think they just give up. Oh no, I countered them all the way down. They gave up. I thought they gave up there. So another good game to my opponent. Aurorus in the lead. They switch out right away, and they go into Apollyon. Now, my first thought was, oh, I should switch into Toxicroak because of the counter damage. However, the waterfalls would do a big amount of damage, so I feel like staying in with Greninja is actually the better play. Plus, those Drill Pecks would be super effective against Toxicroak. So I opted to just stay in here, and the Hydro Cannon actually does a decent amount of damage. And there you can see I was already at another Night Slash, knowing that I'm not going to get to another Hydro Cannon before they take me out. Actually, I probably would have, because I got 2 more Water Shurikens through, so I would have gotten to 1 more. However, I just wanted to get as much damage as I could. So here, I do respect the Hydro Cannon or the Drill Peck. They throw Hydro Cannon. So shield that up. Aurorus comes back in, and now I'm committed. I'm not shielding. Even if it's the Meteor Beam, it is a rock move, which I do resist. So I'm not shielding this. And I'm hoping that it's just going to be a Weather Ball, and it is. So that's good for me. Now they switch out into Aversian. I can safely, again, let this first move go through, because whether it's Sacred Sword, Leaf Blade, or Stone Edge, it won't one-shot. And so then I can go for this Sludge Bomb. This is going to get the last shield, or it would have done massive damage. So then I can safely switch into my Charizard, and I'd be able to reach a Blast Burn and shield, right? Like shield if they had Stone Edge. So they just concede the match. So here, kind of depends on how your opponent plays it. I go for the Night Slash first here, and I'm hoping to get a shield. They Hydro Cannon me, which does a little bit more damage than the Night Slash, actually probably about double, maybe 3/4 more. So I go for the Night Slash. They do shield. Now the nice thing about the Night Slash is that then the 1 more Water Shuriken, you're at another Hydro Cannon. Whereas if you're at the back-to-back Night Slashes, you're not quite at a Water Shuriken, or a Hydro Cannon, sorry. So I get to the Hydro Cannon. They shield both. So now I have 2 shields to their 1 or to their none. So at this point, I feel like I'm just gonna let this go. And then again, I can bring in Toxicroak here. the counters are going to really add up, and I'm already deep into the red, or I got them into the red. They do just throw the Night Slash, so that's a little unfortunate for me, but I'm able to counter them down before they get to another move. So that's perfect. And then my instant thought was like, oh man, I let Greninja go too easily. They've got Giratina in the back. How am I going to deal with this? Sludge Bomb doesn't even do like hardly anything. Okay, I'm going to throw a Mud Bomb here. And then I'm like, okay, now I got them into the yellow. Okay, I'll let this move go through, see what they've got, right? Because you never know if they've got the Shadow Claw or the Shadow Sneak or Ancient Power. So I know, okay, they got Dragon Claw. So I'm going to bring in Charizard here. I've only got one shield. And I toss up the shield in case it's the Ancient Power. It is. But I'm able to reach the Dragon Claw here. And remember, they used both shields already. So this should almost take it out. Doesn't quite, but I'll be able to wing attack down before they get to another Ancient Power. And then in the back, they have a Sylveon. So this is good because Charizard actually resists fairy moves. So I'm resisting those charms, and I'm able to get to the Blast Burn, which does huge damage. And then probably could have wing attack down, but I didn't want to risk it. Got to the Dragon Claw, threw it, and that's another good game. So these battles actually went pretty quick too. There you can see that's the first 5-0. And yes, I know I am way low in the elo. Definitely been struggling a little bit with climbing consistently and or staying up in veteran after I hit it. But it's the first time that I've ever hit veteran like early in the season, so I'm aiming for just continued growth as I keep going. So here they switch into Lorraine, so I counter with Toxicroak. I shielded up that first one because they had a lot of energy, and I felt like they could throw the Earthquake and one-shot me. So I let the second one go through feeling like they were just going to keep Icicle Spearing, and they managed to get to a third one. So at this point, I really don't want to let all that energy go to waste. So I shielded up, and that counter going through takes out the Walrein. They bring Incineroar back in, throw a Mud Bomb that does over half health, or remaining health anyways, and I get to another one, and they let it go. I was like, what are they doing? I've taken out 2 Pokemon and they still have 2 shields. Like, what do they have in the back? And then I see that it's a Charizard, or a Giratina. So same sort of thing. I was like, okay, how am I going to play this? Now they've got energy because they farmed me down. So I bring in Charizard, and I'm like, okay, if this is Ancient Power, they're one-shotting me, or very, very close, and it is Ancient Power. So you can see there, they get me deep into the red, so I'm just hoping here that I can get to a Dragon Claw. I do manage to get to a Dragon Claw before they either throw or farm me down. So I get 1 shield. And now I'm at back-to-back Night Slashes already. So they're going to shield the one. They let the first one go through, but I get boosted. So I was like, okay, I can still win this here. So they Dragon Claw. Okay, that doesn't do that much damage. Keep in mind, I haven't played Greninja before, so any videos that I've seen of it, and times that I've played against it, it seems very, very glossy. So a lot of these hits, I wasn't 100% sure how much damage it would do, or if I would live or not. And there they conceded the match. I was, I think, 1 more move away from the Night Slash, which would have taken them out. So there they have Steelix, and here's another Tapu Fini. So I instant switch into my Toxicroak, best answer for Tapu Fini. However, you guys did see earlier that Greninja actually handles it as well. You just have to be careful of the Moonblast. So there I let the first Surf go through, and I go for the Sludge Bomb, and to my surprise they let it go. So that made things really easy, because this counter, if I shield, will take them out. And I believe that I decided to shield, yes, because they have Steelix in the lead. So they can bring that back in, and I can do some chip damage, or get shield advantage. Or, yeah, get a shield here. So now we're even on shields, and I think I can just... No, I can't. I was thinking that I might be able to reach a Mud Bomb. So here I bring in the Greninja. Gonna take this Breaking Swipe, And then they switch into Virizion. So this, I think, is my win con here. They gave up switch and locked themselves into Virizion. Excuse me. So I switch right away into Charizard. And they Sacred Sword, and I was like, okay, this one here that's not a Stone Edge either. So I let that one go through. And at this point, I'm just farming up, and I should have probably thrown there one move earlier. But I decided to let that go, or to use the shield there, and then hit to the Blast Burn here. Gets that shield. And let's see here. Super effective, so takes him out. It's a good game to my opponent there. Sounding like my mic's not working, but it seems like it's working. Okay, Gliscopod lead. So here I was like, okay, I don't want to switch out, so I'm just gonna stay in. They have Aerial Ace, and again, Impress, that doesn't do all that much. So go for a Night Slash here. It would be awesome if I got a boost. No boost. Go for another Night Slash. Gotta say, Greninja is a lot of fun. So 2 Night Slashes, they're into the red, and I get the boost. So at this point, I feel like I'm going to shield this up. Save some health here. I don't think I'm going to be able to farm down, so I do throw another Night Slash. This will take out the Gliscopod or get a shield. They do decide to shield. So I'm already at another Night Slash, so I might as well throw it, force them to either shield again, or I take them out. So works well for me. And then they have a Cobalion in the back, and I'm able to reach a last second Hydro Cannon before they farm me down there. So now they use their shield, so I bring in Toxicroak, and they switch back into Steelix. So I feel like my win con here is to stay in here, take a Breaking Swipe or two, and get the Steelix kind of to a point. I think this is what I did, is kind of get to a point where I can wing attack down, but save a Mud Bomb on my Toxicroak. So there I switch and catch the Breaking Swipe, and I'm not going to be able to farm down, but I'm able to reach a Dragon Claw, and I over farm a little bit, and then throw the Dragon Claw to take out the Steelix. And now, knowing that Cobalion has Stone Edge, I can let this go through. If they want to bait me, it's going to end horribly for them. They do throw the Stone Edge, so that's fine. I can bring in Toxicroak and throw the Mud Bomb, and then keep in mind I have a shield, so even if they get to another move, which they're at the Sacred Sword right there, I can shield this up, and then I'm, I think, only 1 or 2 counters away from another Mud Bomb. 1, 2, 3, oh sorry, I was 3 away, and 3 took them out. So that was a good game there. And on to the next match. This one's really cool. I really want Shiny Trevenant. So Trevenant lead, they switch into Obstagoon. I answer with Toxicroak. Toxicroak is going to resist everything that Obstagoon throws, and it's going to tear through it with counters. With the neutral typing of the normal and dark type, so counter is super effective, double super effective basically. So there they throw one more counter, and they get taken out, and then they can bring back in Trevenant, and I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb here. That does half health roughly. 1, 2 more counters, and they're into the yellow. So I get to another Sludge Bomb. This will almost take Trevenant out or get a shield. Does get the shield. So I'm able to... No, I wasn't quite. I let this go though. No point in shielding. So they Seed Bomb. And now I bring in Charizard. And they've got a Tapu Fini in the back. I was like, oh, no. I was like, okay, how am I going to win this? How am I going to win this? I've got shields. If they let this go, it does about half health. Okay, they let it go. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to let Charizard go. I'm going to get to this Dragon Claw, I'm going to throw it. It's going to do a little bit more chip damage or get a shield because they're the shield because I thought it might be another blast burn. So I'm going to let the surf go through. And now I know from previous matchups that Hydro Cannon will almost take it out from that range. Now they're into the red, so it should take them out. And keep in mind, I've got 2 shields. So that takes them out. So now all I have to do is reach 1 Night Slash, and it'll take out the Trevenant. And I was able to get there without even needing to use a shield. So that's a good game there. Well played to my opponent. And I was able to 2 shield flex on that one. So I think this is the last battle here. Skunk Tank into my Greninja, and Toxicroak is a better answer, but Hydro Cannon does a massive amount of damage there, and I'm able to get to another one. And I feel like they throw Poison, Dark, and Flamethrower. So I decided I'm just gonna let whatever this is go through. It is a crunch. It doesn't quite KO from that level. Like, so Shadow, Skunk Tank, and it doesn't quite KO. I know it's a resist move, but was impressed. So here I'm like, oh, well, if it's crunch, I'll let it go. It's Flamethrower, gets me into the yellow. Now I'm a bit concerned, and now Dragonite comes out. I was like, okay, how am I gonna beat this? I got 2 shields. They're shredding through me. Obviously I have to shield this Dragon Claw up. Now, they do have a shield, so I have to get the shield. And then in the back, they got a Ground Ball. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to throw Dragon Claw. I was about to throw it. Throw the Blast Burn. Let's see if they shield. Boom! No shield. Okay, now, still need to get rid of their shield. But I do have a Sludge Bomb on Toxicroak. So I get the shield. As I get to the Dragon Claw, they take me out. 1 more counter away, and I get to the Sludge Bomb. And I think this will take them out. Yes, it does. That was the 10-0 set. So I was pretty happy with that. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun to make this one, and I will probably keep playing this team for the rest of the day and see how it goes. See you in the next one. Thanks.